Good morning, everyone. So, our topic for today is all about managing a multi-grade classroom. So, as we all know that being a multi-grade teacher, you know very well kung ano yung dapat nating ginagawa as a teacher ng mga bata or yung mga pupils, di ba? So, multi-grade teaching is all about classroom organization, student management, and ultimately the successful transmission of grade-specific curricula. So it is your responsibility as a multi-grade teacher to plan and organize your classroom to get the best results from the space and resources available to you. So kapag tayo ay isang multi-grade teacher, so ang ating or responsibilidad natin ang magplano and organize yung classroom para naman mas malaki yung space and dapat meron din tayong iba't ibang mga resources na available lamang. So, hindi dapat tayo lamang sa internet o kaya naman yung mga word. Kasi minsan kapag napupunta tayo sa iba't or sa ibang lugar, sa mga remote areas, may posibilidad na walang kuryente. So, dapat magkaroon tayo ng iba't ibang resources or kung ano man ang meron sa environment. Then, management of a multi-grade classroom revolves around three dimensions as depicted in Figure 1. So, there are three dimensions of classroom management. So, first, teacher, second, classroom, and the third one is the students. So, under the teacher are planning, classroom control, use of time, delegation of responsibility. So, as a teacher, dapat meron kang plan. Pangalawa, ikaw yung may control sa classroom. Pangatlo naman, dapat use of time. At ang pang-apat ay delegation of responsibility. So, alam mo kung kanino mo ibibigay yung mga responsibilidad, lalo-lalo na sa mga estudyante. Pangalawang three dimensions of classroom management ay ang classroom. Kumbaga, ito yung silid-aralan kung saan nandun ang iyong mga or ating mga estudyante. Una ay ang physical condition. Pangalawa, yung mga materyales. Pangatlo naman ay yung mga activities and pang-apat ay yung mga routines. At ang pangatlo ay ang students. So, ang students, under naman sa students ay ang time on task, behavior, relationship, and of course, ang kanilang responsibilities. So, those are the three dimensions of classroom management. So, as a multi-grade teacher, you are the key to planning, designing, and managing a range of both grade, appropriate, and mixed grade activities for children to keep them engaged in learning. So, as a teacher, as a multi-grade teacher, 'di ba? Sabi nga dito, so ikaw lahat ang nagpaplano, ikaw ang lahat na nagdisenyo, and of course, how to manage range of both grade appropriate and mixed grade activities for children to keep them engaged in learning. Kung ano yung mga dapat na mga activities mo ibigay sa kanila para at least naman ay ma-engage pa rin sila sa learning. So your efficiency and effectiveness rest on creating a classroom conducive to learning by developing exciting and stimulating activities ranging from group work to independent study. So, hindi talaga maiiwasan yung mga group work natin. Kumbaga, as a teacher and then para naman sa mga estudyante natin, meron talagang mga group work o kaya mga teamwork nila na dapat gawin. And of course, meron din silang yung pang-sarili lamang nila na pag-study o sa mga activities na gagawin nila. Then, you play a central role in managing the classroom in the following ways. So, as a teacher, meron kang mga rules in managing the classroom in the following ways. So, first, planning the use of the classroom space, especially flexible setting arrangement for both you and your students. So, ikaw talaga yung may sa mga space sa room. Dapat alam mo kung paano mo i-seating arrangement yung mga bata. Kasi iba, pag sa multigrade ka mapupunta, so dapat iba-iba yung mga seating arrangement. Kasi mababagot yan, yung mga bata, mababagot sila. So dapat minsan kasi yung nararanasan na natin or yung palagi lang nangyayari ay yung nakalagay, kumbaga lahat naka-face sa chalkboard. Tapos ikaw sa teacher, nandun din. So, pwede namang iba-iba yung mga seating arrangement. Nasa sayo na yan kung paano mo gagawin. Then, pangalawa, planning and carrying out multiple lessons at the same time. So, paano? Pagpaplano kung lalo na kung iba't iba yung lesson na ibibigay mo. So, multiple lessons. So, dapat alam mo kung paano sila i-handle, paano yung pagpaplan ng mga topics mo. Then, designing activities for students to keep involved. So, dapat meron talagang mga iba't ibang activities. So, as a teacher, dapat maging creative ka sa bawat oras. Kasi, dapat marami ka talagang kailangan gawin, magiging creative para yung mga estudyante mo ay magiging involved lahat sa activities mo. Pang-apat, creating, arranging, and using teaching and learning materials. So, creating, pagbuo, arranging, kung paano mo sila i-arrange, and using teaching and learning materials. Kung ano yung mga dapat kunin o yung mga materials na gagamitin. Panglima ay establishing norms of behavior expected of students to keep them learning. Kasi kapag ikaw ay nasa isang multigrade na classroom, iba't iba yung mga range ng mga estudyante mo. Iba't iba din yung mga norms, mga behavior. So rest assured na dapat may patience ka and you know how to keep them learning, to keep them involved in learning. So, dito naman tayo sa understanding the current context and creating a future vision. So, as a multigrade teacher, kumbaga meron ka ng mga future vision mo sa sarili mo. May mga iba't iba ka ng katanungan, meron ka ng iba't ibang itatanong sa sarili mo. So, ito yon. In order to realize these functions effectively, you need to focus on many levels of classroom management. This starts with an assessment of what your classroom looks like now and your vision of how you want it to look in the future. So, dapat alam mo na kung parang nasisense mo na o kaya napipicture out mo na kung ano yung magiging classroom look alike in the future. Pwede bang Hello Kitty lahat para naman mas maganda sa mata ng mga estudyante mo o kaya magiging nature lover ka, ganon. Then, when you first get assigned to school which has or should have multigrade teaching, it is essential to take time to gain a clear understanding of the context of your multigrade classroom. You can start by asking yourself the following questions. So, there are a lot of questions here. So, mababasa niyo naman lahat to. So, first lang, meron ako bibigay is itong, where is your school located? How far do your students travel to get to school? Diba kapag nasa mga remote areas tayo, ito talaga yung unang magiging tanong natin. Kung saan kaya nakalagay yung school, ano kaya kinanalagyan, o kaya ilang metro pang naglalakad, o kaya kanang mutabok gani sa mga suba, sa mga mountain areas, ingon ana ang kasagaran mga tinatanong natin. Then, what grades are you teaching? What age and ability range is in your classroom? How might you best work with and take advantage of a wide range of ages and abilities? So, ito, isa din to sa mga tanong natin na parang ano kayang grade yung tuturuan ko? Ano kaya or ilang taon kaya yung nandun? 'Di ba? Kasi pag sa ganung area, hindi talaga maiiwasan na merong mga bata na grade 1 lang sila, dapat yung grade 1, 67. Merong iba na naging 14, 15 kasi doon pa lang sila nag-aaral. Parang dati hindi pa kaya ng kanilang mga magulang. And ngayon sa public, pwede na kasi hindi naman mataas yung sinisingil. Then, what kinds of family background do your students come from? What is their economic status? So, ito din, isa din to. Kasi dapat malaman mo as a teacher kung ano ba ang family background ng students mo. Kung ano bang status nila. Kasi merong iba mahirap. Merong iba naghihirap na naghihirap talaga. Meron din iba sakto lang sa buhay. Ganon. Okay, let's continue kasi naputol yung recorder ko. So, pang-apat na question ay, what language do your students speak at home? How well do they understand, speak the national language? What might you do to ensure they learn what they need to learn in the language you use in the classroom? So, ito din, isa din to sa mga tanong natin kasi kadalasan kapag nandun tayo sa mga remote areas, may posibilidad na iba't iba yung sinasalita nila. Kumbaga sa atin, Cebuano yung ginagamit natin, pero dito sa Pilipinas, alam naman natin na iba't iba yung mga lengguwaheng ginagamit natin, di ba? Merong mga Manunubo, merong sa Waray, merong mga Ilocano, Batanggenyo, so ganon, iba't iba. So dapat alam na alam mo yung background nila, kung ano ba ang kanilang ginagamit, kung alam ba nila ang national language natin, or kung ano yung kaya din nila. Then, how many have had some kind of preschool experience? What can you do to help those who have not had this experience? So, kung yung iba ba ay nagpe-preschool o yung iba ay hindi, kasi kadalasan minsan diretso lang, wala ng preschool experience. And, paano mo ba sila matutulungan? So, ganon. Do any of your students have special education needs in regard to physical or cognitive disabilities? What can you do to respond to these needs? So, marami pang ibang tanong na nandyan. Then, once you have a good understanding of the students in your class, take time to create a vision in your mind about what you want your multigrade classroom to look like. So, kapag nalaman mo na lahat, naiintindihan mo na kung ano yung magiging look alike or yung vision mo regarding sa mga estudyante mo. So, this time, pwede ka nang mag-create ng sariling vision mo kung ano ba talaga ang magiging mukha or kung ano yung mangyayari sa classroom mo. Meron tayong isa, dalawa, tatlo. So, tatlong klase. Una, a welcoming, inclusive, healthy, protective, and child-friendly environment which helps your student, most of whom have probably not had any preschool experience, feel comfortable in the school, and ensures that they do not drop out before completion of the primary school cycle. So, dapat, yung mga walang experience ng preschool, dapat wini-welcome. No? Kasi, magiging child-friendly. Para naman, magiging komportable sila sa isa't isa. Then, a rich mixture of grade-appropriate and mixed-grade teaching, per learning through group work and pair work, personalized teaching, independent learning, through tutoring and teacher and students' interactions to make sure that all children learn and that no child excluded from learning because of gender, language, poverty, disability, or any other reasons. Kasi dapat talaga parang wala kang favoritism dito. Dapat alam mo, dapat meron kayong interaction between students and teacher para naman walang maiiwanan ng isang estudyante. Pwede din magkakaroon ng mga group work, pair work, or kaya yung mga personalized teaching or independent. Pwede ka din maging isang tutor as a teacher para naman ma-learn talaga lahat yung mga estudyante mo, hindi sila maiiwanan. Pangatlo, a disciplined classroom with a harmonious learning environment which mixes structured learning. For example, for teaching science, arithmetic, reading, writing, and others, and unstructured learning, storytelling, singing, plays, games, and etc. So, yan. Pwede din yung gamitin sa isang classroom mo para naman hindi puro lang kayo book ng book. So, a mix of different teachings. So, meron diyang larawan, di ba? Nakikita niyo. Then, preparing the classroom. So, after those, meron ka ng vision kung ano yung magiging look-alike ng classroom mo. Dito naman ay preparing the classroom. You have to prepare your classroom. Kung ano ba yung magiging itsura. So, once you have created your vision, you can start translating it into practice by planning what you want to do in clear and simple terms. So, kung dati, nag-vision ka pa lang, pinipicture out mo pa kung ano yung magiging look ng classroom mo, dito, kailangan mo na talagang gawin. Kumbaga, kailangan mo nang i-practice. So, a crucial part of planning an effective multi-grade classroom is organizing its space so that it allows free movement and can be used for different activities by individual students, individual grades, small groups, and the whole group. So, ang crucial part daw ng pagpaplano is yung sa organizing its space. Kasi, malimit lang yung space ng isang multi-grade classroom. Baga, paano mo sila i-arrange. Pwede din pa circle, pwede din yung paano, pa-line up lang. So, nakadepende lahat sa'yo yun kung paano. Para meron pa ring movement. Kumbaga, komportable pa rin silang maglihok-lihok. Ang ganon. Then, the traditional seating arrangement with the teacher facing all students in rows with the chalkboards. Ito ngayon sinabi ko kanina, di ba? Yan yung usually or traditional setting natin na naka-face tayo sa chalkboard. On the wall does not work in a multi-grade classroom. Excuse. Where several activities are happening at the same time. Therefore, you will need to think out how your classroom can be divided into different areas. The key word in this process is flexibility. So, you have dapat magkakaroon ka ng flexibility as a teacher. Diba? Kasi alam natin, pag once a teacher, multitasking tayo. So, lahat-lahat parang nasa atin na. So, the ability to move students and desks around inside the classroom to create the kind of learning spaces you desire. So, this requires some preparation before you start teaching, such as, so there are 3. Understanding the space in the classroom and the resources available for conducting classes. So, you need to understand. So, you need to see the spaces of your classroom and of course, the resources available para naman hindi ka mahihirapan. Kasi nakaplano ka na nga, meron ka na nga discipline or understanding sa space mo. Paano naman yung mga resources mo, mga materials na gagamitin mo? So, deciding on the types of teaching methods and student activities possible in the space available, given the number of students and grades in your classroom. For example, if a lot of group work is planned, you may want to create several areas for group discussion, activity, and leave less space for one-on-one teaching and independent learning. So, ganun yung dapat pwedeng gawin natin. So, the third one is ang drawing a floor plan of the classroom with a seating plan that promotes your desired learning activities and shows the placement of furniture, books, materials. So, see this figure to. So, this is the example for floor plan for a multi-grade classroom. So, meron dyan nakalagay na resources cupboard. So, science, math, yan yung mga learning corner natin. The notice board, so meron din group work table, meron din bookshelf, so reading corner, then files, so teacher's resource area, then blackboard, then whole class work group. So, dyan, nakalagay dyan, grade 1, J1, J2, J3. So, ganyan. Iba't ibang classroom example. So, yan yung topic natin for this day. I hope you learned something from this. So, that's all. Thank you and be safe always, guys. God bless.